Ignite is an ongoing series of speedy presentations. They've ranged from building multi-person pogo sticks to hacking chocolate. Any topic that geeks hold dear. Each speaker gets only 5 minutes and 20 slides that auto-advance every 15 seconds. The talk you're about to hear was recorded live at one of the featured Ignite events around the world.
Hi everyone, my name is Vincent, and as I said, I am very passionate about green software. On January 09, Fast Company article deemed the sustainability systems developer one of the 10 best green jobs for the next decade. And that article and my business mission, focusing on the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, inspired me to create the Green Software event to bring together engineers, VCs, and entrepreneurs to collaborate and innovate in this space. So from an investment standpoint, as a lot of you know, green software actually requires a lower capital investment and a faster development time compared to other clean technologies. And more businesses are being compelled to go green by customers. And they're wondering, how can we do this? That's not their core competency, and that's where software tools come in. So the smart grid spending is expected to reach $200 billion by 2015. Facebook has a Little Green Patch community working together that was able to save over 183 million square feet of rainforest. From a mobile perspective, the Green App downloads market could exceed 400 million by 2014. Go Green Mobile is a carbon tracker application that was a joint initiative between AT&T, Nokia, and UCLA. They also have a Facebook integration, which is pretty cool. I'm going to talk about 3 web calculators. This is the first one. It's a low-carbon diet application, eatlowcarbon.org. It's sponsored by Bon Appetit Management Company. They actually won the NRDC and Environmental Defense Fund Awards in 2009. So it tracks your food emissions. This is a great waterfootprint.org web calculator. Here are some data points as well. The third web calculator is a Nature Conservancy. It's an aggregate, and it tells you from a yearly perspective how many tons of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases your choices create each year. And from a web perspective, I wanted to introduce this example of how Google Earth is actually helping indigenous peoples show how deforestation has impacted their culture. I had Green 21, which was the producer of that particular film, come to the Green Software conference and present that film to show how software is being used to show how people are being impacted from a deforestation perspective. Moving on to driving. So Green Drive technology monitors acceleration and braking patterns. A lot of people who have driven a Toyota Prius are familiar with the dashboard, so they help popularize that technique. Energy management. This is a huge field. So these are solutions that help businesses cut down on the electricity going to phones, computers, building HVAC and lighting systems. Google Power Meter is a good example. E-Meter has raised $57 million in 2 rounds, and customers include Southern California Edison. Data centers and IT, huge area. So about 2% of global carbon emissions are due to the direct effects of IT usage, especially data centers. PCs consume 40% of that power going to computers and networks. Data centers account for 23%. So data centers are looking at server virtualization. So with server virtualization, you can take 10 servers with completely different applications and consolidate them into one large server, where each of the 10 standalone servers can retain their own server name, IP address, etc. So greengrid.org is a good organization to know more about what's going on in that area. Water efficiency. You can schedule crop and landscape irrigation based on real-time weather data and soil conditions. Adobe actually is using a system. So if it's going to rain that day, the outside landscaping watering system will not turn on. Lighting. There's a sensor placement and orientation tool that helps architects place sensors so that occupants can capitalize on daylight and can also improve worker productivity and moods. Agriculture information management system. This is Hitachi's system that analyzes satellite data to determine optimal time to harvest wheat and rice. This is important, as most people know there are some issues of drought and hunger around the world, so that will come in handy. ePeat is a registration system that helps purchasers evaluate, compare, and select electronic products based on environmental attributes. It's something good to check out. Carbon accounting is a huge field. So coal-fired electric power plants comprise the single biggest source of CO2 emissions in the world. The U.S. is the greatest producer of CO2 emissions per capita in the world. You may have heard in the news that the EPA recently announced an endangerment finding stating that greenhouse gases are bad for public health and the environment, and they're going to start regulating emissions of 6 greenhouse gases. And I mentioned before, a lot of people are not familiar with how to calculate carbon accounting, so there are companies out there who are providing the software. So Clear Standards was recently acquired by SAP. So my challenge to you and the great community leader space that you're in is to see how you can integrate green into your organizations. The Mobile World Congress introduced the Green Mobile Awards. So I welcome you to keep in touch and join my Clean Tech Facebook group and follow me on my Twitter accounts, Mary Vincent and Green Software. Thank you.